What's going on, YouTube? So today I'm going to do the 2024 Kawasaki Ninja 500 Fender Eliminator kit. I'll show you what it looks like stock real quick. The kit, this is the kit I got from Graves Motorsports, and according to them, they say that it fits the new 2024 Ninja 500, so we'll see if it does. Bike is so new, I just got the temporary plates on there. Literally just picked it up yesterday. It has 25 miles on it. Alright, so let me step back just a bit. Alright, that's what it looks like stock. Pretty hideous looking. So if you do decide to mod your bike, I think that this should be one of the first modifications that you should do, in my opinion. It just cleans up the back end like so much, you know. The only bad part is the tire will spit up mud, and the mud will go on the underside of your bike. The original Fender that's stock kind of helps block some mud and dirt getting spit up on the underside of your bike, but if you ride mostly in the summer, which I do, it wouldn't be too much an issue. So yeah, I'll show you the installation process as much as I can and enjoy the video. All right, so the first step is to take off the back seat right here with the key underneath and take off the back seat. All right, after you remove the very back seat, I'm still learning this brand new bike. I've never seen this. So there's a little lever to the main seat right here. There's a little cable right here. You pull it, and that releases the main seat. And I was trying to figure out how to do it, but yeah, you pull that, and it deactivates a latch, and then you can just take your seat off. It's hard to do when holding the phone, but there you go. And that's how you get to your battery. So learning stuff about this bike already. All right, so and then just disconnect the battery. Probably should be able to just disconnect the positive and be okay, as long as that positive stays away from the battery terminal. Always disconnect the battery before you do anything electrical, which you are going to be doing with the tail light wiring and all that. So disconnect the red. All right, the battery is disconnected. Just keep that red terminal far away from the battery and you'll be safe to work on electrical. So just move the red terminal, the positive, away from the battery, the red wire. Okay, the next step is you lift this little plastic piece up right here. It just lifts up. Looks like it's on a hinge and there's like some cotter pins, but I'm just gonna lift it up and hopefully it'll stay out of the way. But there's 4 bolts that holds the whole thing down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll know that you'll have the right one because it's an Allen key, and it's a 5mm Allen key, so you should be able to see them. They're nice and shiny. Okay, these bolts were on there pretty tight, so I had to use the drill because I tried to do it with the Allen wrench and they weren't budging, but with the drill it was easy. So if you have a drill with a 5mm Allen bit, then just use that instead of the manual way. They were on there pretty tight from the factory. Alright, so here's the aftermarket bracket. So basically the way it's going to work is it's going to sit like this. And then the 4 holes that you see right there are going to line up with the 4 holes that you see on the underside of the bike. See 1, 2, and then 3, 4 right there. it's going to line up with that. Don't worry, when you remove the old one, you'll be able to see it a lot better, but yeah, this will line up with there. As soon as you cut the wires, though, you're committed. So I'm about to cut the wires. This will be a good video to let you know that if it works or if it doesn't, if you want to get the kit. All right, here's the underside of the stock. Okay, here's the underside of the stock Fender when you cut the wires. Here's one of the turn signals. The other one is up there. I would cut it probably about here to give yourself a little bit of room in case you ever want to reinstall it. Cut it about right here. And then same thing on the other side, because I don't really know how to get into that part right there. But yeah, cut it maybe like right there. You should have plenty of wire, because the other one only sits right here, so I would cut it right there. There's the 2 wires here for the 2 turn signals, and this 3rd wire right here in the middle. This 3rd wire goes to, looks like a small little light that shines down on the license plate. So yeah, just cut that one maybe right about here. There should be a lot of length for you to work with, but as soon as you cut the wires, you're pretty much committed. So yep. Also, don't forget to disconnect the battery. Remember, whenever you work on electrical, disconnect the positive terminal from the battery, okay? All right, so I cut all the wires, all 3 of the wires. I marked them with zip ties. You probably don't have to, because it comes out a certain way out of the rest of the bike, but I just marked them just so that I would remember. So in this case, the left side is the white zip tie, the right side is the black zip tie, and then the middle is just the light that shines down on the license plate. So just an extra precaution. You don't have to zip tie them if you don't want to. Just remember which wires are where, and test it before you put it all back together. Make sure that it's the correct way. All right, so here's the underside of the stock rear fender. You can see that the wires are cut now. So now I just got to figure out how to take off the turn signals and mount them onto the new bracket. Looks like just a screw there, and then the other side looks like just a Phillips screw there. That should take those off. And then the middle light, I'll have to figure that out. But then the license plate frame is pretty easy. Just those 2 right there. Right there. And right there, I'll take the license plate off and mount it onto the new bracket. And one thing that's nice, I don't know if you can see it on the video. Try to focus. It's kind of like reflective. Let's see if I can get the light better. Maybe shadow. It's right at the bottom, the very bottom of the housing for the stock. You'll see there's an arrow pointing to the right. That way you'll know, okay, this is the right one. And then the one on the left has an arrow pointing to the left. So you don't have to mark these once you cut these off. Just look at the arrow. Alright, sorry about the background noise, but I'm just figuring this out. So once you get the 2 sides off, this piece right here that holds the housing in, it's just a rubber piece. So you should be able to just kind of bend it from the inside and pop it out of this housing, of the plastic housing. So let me do that real quick. Yeah, so you pop this rubber housing out easily from there, and then you just put it into the bracket right here, the aftermarket bracket, and then you just pop it in and then put the assembly back together the same way that you took it out, one side at a time. Alright, once you got the rubber piece in, you slide the wires through the small hole, and then the big hole lines up, and then boom, you just flush it right there, and then put all the brackets and stuff back together on the inside that holds it to the aftermarket part. Alright, got the left side on. This part can take a little bit of patience as far as like getting all the screws and the brackets back in place, but make sure you got it the correct way before getting everything all back together. There's a little bit of wire there, but you can always cut back that protective black stuff and then give yourself a little bit more room to do the wiring once you've got it all hooked on. Then make sure, this is important, make sure you got it oriented the right way. Like this is the left one. There's a left arrow on there. There's a left arrow pointing left. Like this. And you can always like put it up to your bike to make sure that you got it the correct way, the bracket and everything. With the holes, line up the holes on the underside of the bike. Just see the holes that are closer together. It's going to be in the very back, and then the holes that are further apart are going to be in the front. So just make sure you kind of dry fit everything before you put everything all back together. Alright, and this is the license plate frame light that shines down on the license plate. You just wire it through this hole in the bracket right there. There's some 3M tape, and you just stick it on to right where it says 641, right in the middle. But the back of this thing, it looks like there's supposed to be some hot glue, like kind of protecting the wires from the housing. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue around there and just make a better seal of hot glue around where the wire goes into there. So you don't have to do that, but I'm just going to do it because I have a hot glue gun. So. Alright, and the next step was once you got the light on there, the license plate light, and both the signals mounted, then you just mount the bracket into the bike. Alright, once you got the license plate frame light mounted and everything, the wire goes through that hole, then you just mount the whole thing to your bike. You use the 4 bolts that came with the bike, and then they give you some nuts, because on the stock one, there's threads that are built into the system, so you'll need to use these nuts right here, the 4 nuts. Make sure you feed all the wires through the square hole. All 3 wires through the square hole. Alright, last step is wire the stock wiring back together, green to green, black and yellow to black and yellow, and then repeat the step on the other side for the other turn signal. Alright guys, here's what it looks like when it's all done. Now of course you can get aftermarket turn signals that are like a little bit more low profile if you want, like a little bit closer to the frame, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. I kind of like the stock ones, but it depends on what's out there on the market. I don't know if they have any cool ones out there, but yeah, it cleans it up a lot, gets rid of that nasty stock looking one. And then just to make sure, turn it on. Yep, license plate light, everything, brake light, nice and bright. All right. Right signal. Left signal. All right, cool. I do like the bikes where everything is integrated into the taillight, the turn signals and everything, but you know, you're still gonna have a license plate. You're gonna need a license plate there, but yeah. Alright, Graves Motorsports, thanks for the Fender Eliminator kit. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying thank you. I know I had to buy it, but I'm not sponsored or anything. Just have to say thanks for making a bracket that fits. Alright, thanks guys for watching the video. See you another day. Peace.